Get ready to strap in. It's going to be a heck of a ride. It's like drinking from a fire hose. Never a dull moment, but yes, you'll hear the stories you won't hear anywhere else, and we appreciate you being here with us for them today. I'm Justin Barclay. Welcome in, folks. Well, another day, another fantastic load of updates for you, and of course, we got a great guest today. Yeah, it's been a while since we talked to him, but James Dixon joins us to talk a little bit about, again, what we're hearing in Michigan, some of the news we're discovering. Some of it we've already known. If you've been watching this program for any bit of time, you're well aware. But the president's big election announcement last week continues to have echoes. We're going to get into that today, and of course, your conversations. Drop in the chat. We'd love to see you. Share the show. Anytime you do, you're going to get in the running automatically to win something cool from inside the Justin store. JustinBarclay.com/store. So check that out and help us break the algorithm. It's just that simple. Got something interesting from Mike Lindell today. We'll touch on that coming up in a little bit. Big thanks to Mike, MyPillow.com, a Patriot, MyStore.com/Justin. Both use promo code Justin. Not only will you get some great products, fantastic things for the home, made in America, a lot of them, of course. You'll support Mike in his run for governor there in Minnesota, and this program as well. Maha Missy with a great segment yesterday. We talked about some of the bigger stories in the Maha world. That parasite that's raging. We continue to cover that and the latest breaking news, some good stories that you won't want to miss as that segment gets podcasted a little bit later on this week. In the meantime, you can go back and watch it. Fantastic stuff. Healthwithjustin.com. Drop 40 pounds or more in just a matter of like 30, 40 days. It's amazing what people are experiencing. Mike and his wife, my wife and I, and so many other people that listen to this program see the before and afters. Healthwithjustin.com. 269-964-4044. That's the way to call her and say hey. All right, let's get into it. Yeah, the stories that matter most, the ones you'll be talking about around the dinner table, the water cooler, maybe just in the chat, no matter where you are. Powered by our good friends at Heartland Home Mortgage, Dave Galloway and the team, ready to help you buy, refi, home equity line of credit. They've got so many different options for you, but folks are looking at the home equity line of credit right now, the HELOC, because they want to get rid of credit card debt. You know, those payments are what can be crippling, especially as times are tight and you're watching your wallet, now more than ever. I get it. I'm kind of going through some transition and changes myself. I understand. You may want to look at the HELOC and help pay down some of that debt and get rid of get some of that burden off your back. I don't know what's right for you, but Dave certainly will have those options laid out for you. HHMlending.com, the best way to find out how he can help you today in our Big Three, powered by those folks here. All right. Turns out New Jersey's non-citizen voter issue isn't just a glitch. I told you yesterday, this isn't a bug, it's a feature. And the story now is continuing to come out. In fact, the governor there, Mikey Sherrill, saying, oh, no, we had a glitch. The reason there's so many non-citizens on the voter rolls is there's a glitch in the software system we use. Now the software people coming out and saying, yeah, that's not true. Don't blame us, they're saying. And, well, isn't that interesting? 6,600 there in New Jersey alone. And that brings us to the point again. Jocelyn Benson here in Michigan will not hand over those voter records to file so that, well, the federal government, the Department of Justice, can get in there and make sure that there aren't things happening, that shouldn't be happening. That's another big story over in the Middle East through the course of the last few hours this morning and last night. Yemen's Houthi rebels have attacked a Saudi tanker in the Red Sea, threatening to widen the Iran war. Gas prices, oil prices already kind of popping up a little bit. Why does it matter to you? Because, again, it could affect how much you pay. And as this thing has a tendency to maybe widen out a little bit, that could affect President Trump trying to get a deal done here and, of course, wrap this thing up and the midterms, how folks see the fighting there. President Trump attending the dignified transfer of fallen U.S. service members killed in the Iran conflict and issuing a strong warning yesterday. And I will tell you, I look at this, I think he's messing around. I don't, this is just a threat. I don't think it's idle. I think he will inflict the most pain possible in the coming days if we continue to see these attacks. And last but not least, the House passed a stock trading ban for Congress. Uncertain future, though, in the Senate. Congressman Heisinger, I saw, was one of the folks in the Lakeshore congressman here in West Michigan that voted for this. They passed that Stop Insider Trading Act yesterday, banning members of Congress, their spouses, and dependent children from buying new individual stocks while allowing existing holdings and requiring advance public notice for sales. What do you think we'll see a Pelosi retirement anytime soon? Now, what? I mean, I'm serious. What do you think happens in the midst of all of this? It's insane. I will tell you this, and I don't know that this is the best way to do it or not. So I started thinking about the kids, like. So the kids can't do it either, and I know that the parents can pass on these tips, and they can, some of the insider trading and all of that. That's all possible in what they're doing. But these people are so corrupt. This isn't just, not all of them, but a lot of them. This isn't just trading stocks. I mean, that's a big part of it. But there's a whole grift that goes along. It's like AOC, She comes into Congress with just a measly, sort of meager, I don't know, was it $20,000, $60,000, something like that was her net worth total. And you turn around and just a few years later, she's got, family. I guess it was is it the husband who's the consultant? And I think Rashida Tlaib had the same deal that they were working. Anyway, what I'm telling you is none of this is rare. I wish I could give you a more positive spin on this. But I don't, to think that you're going to root all of that out is draining the swamp is one thing. I don't, the other piece of this is, it's just because it's so pervasive, because it's been there for so long. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, but I'll put it this way. I will believe it when I see it, kind of thing. I guess that's, trust but verify. I guess that's the way I want to think about it. I don't know, man. I just, it's like the election stuff. It's so deep. The whole thing the rabbit hole goes so deep. Yes, I want to see it. But this is human nature that you're fighting against. You are up against just this impossible force of human nature. Hey, it's the same with the election stuff. I want to see this, and we're going to certainly hold these people on their feet to the fire. But, to think that, like, you're going to snap your fingers and overnight have this, cured is this whole nother thing. By the way, speaking of which, I don't know if you saw this, but Charlie LaDuff that's got another banger here. this is this one is Abdul Al Sayed's elderly Democrat donor. She lives in a trailer somewhere, a camper, really. And this poor woman, they got her on the hook. They're saying $150,000 that she's been donating to.
Well, here we are, out in the deep, thick country of Michigan.
It's, to me, you look at this and you go, like, this can't be possible. This is another one of those Act Blue stories.
Looking for one Elizabeth Waffle, 88 years old, donated nearly $150,000 in the last 5 years to Democratic causes. This is one of El Sayed's micro donors. Doesn't look like the Taj Mahal by any means. Come along. Where's the house? Okay, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, call somebody. Ding, 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 ding. Hello?
This
Here's
poor
a
woman.
walker.
I mean,
Hi, madam.
Okay.
Pleasure. My name's Charlie.
okay. I love that. She's like, okay. Hang on, let me turn the captions off because I don't want that to get in the way here.
Are you Elizabeth Waffle?
Yeah.
It says here that you've donated $150,000 in the last 5 years to various campaigns, and that you've made nearly 15,000 donations.
I doubt it.
You want to see it?
15,000, yeah.
15,000 separate donations on the computer. Did you make 15,000 donations?
The fact that she even thinks she made 15,000 in donations is a whole nother thing. But like, he's saying their total number of donations are 15,000, and the total for the amount donated is 150,000. I mean, this is obvious and blatant. This is this isn't a glitch in the system. This is how they set this stuff up to funnel dark money and make it look like individuals. And we don't know who's donating this. Could be China for all we know. Could be
China.
We don't know. Could be Iran. We have no clue. George Soros himself.
Donations in 5 years? $150,000?
150, hell no. I don't have that kind of money.
Do you have internet?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
Do you have a computer?
No,
No? So how could you make all these donations?
I don't know. Are these all mine?
Yes, this is, now, there's 900 pages. I ran out of paper to print it on. Yeah, all of these.
I have bad knees, and then I went out and sprained an ankle. And so I'm...
Wow.
Well, with $150,000, you get those knees replaced.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've dare spent that much.
When's the last time you lived in Canfield?
Well, I lived there for 1 year after the house burned.
Oh, your house here burned, yeah? So what it has here, here's the dates. In August 27th of 2024, you not only contributed on the same day from this address, but also from the Canfield address. So it says like you were in two places at the same time on the same day.
Well, I still own the property out here, so...
Surely.
Yeah.
But it says how many contributions that day did you do? It's 10.
It could be. I don't remember quite that much of it, but
Not $150,000 though,
I can't believe it.
and not 15,000 times.
Yeah.
And you have spotty internet. What's this one? Aaron Rugenberg?
Rugenberg.
Rugenberg.
That name doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a bell, huh?
Doesn't mean a bell at all.
150,000 is abnormal.
I don't... 150,000 is very abnormal, and I think it's wrong. I think there's something in there that's off.
Can you show me how to make a donation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
By the way, this is the genius of Charlie LaDuff. Taking something that is, it's kind of complex to understand the kind of how this whole scam works. A lot of math and numbers, and as you saw, he's got reams of pages of the donations there. He's got a prop, so he's got this physical thing you can look at. Then he's there with this woman who's poor. I mean, this poor woman lost her home, and they're using her. Now, they're not sucking or stealing money from her, but what they're doing is they're using her and others who have voted and come, or not voted, but donated and come through the system, and they're using them as sort of dummy accounts. So when money comes in, they'll funnel it out through these accounts or these names that are in there and make it look like she donated more than she did.
Come on.
Internet.
This thing hates me. I'm not on the internet right at the moment.
Well, we all sympathize with that pain, don't we?
I'll get it straightened around when I get in the house if that ever happens.
How long, when'd your house burn down?
2 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Everything goes through Act Blue. Act Blue is like the bank.
So everything you do goes through ActBlue?
Wow.
You don't go to amyklobuchar.com and donate. You
No, I do
Okay.
everything through Act Blue.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Oh, ActBlue. Got a couple bucks I could borrow?
Here's the other sad thing, and I hate to say it. I mean, but Jason just did. Living in a trailer, donating to politics. This poor woman. I mean, she's got no home. She's living in this trailer. Her home burned down. And somehow she's been juiced up enough, angry or passionate enough, probably hates Trump. Again, show her some compassion here. These people have been absolutely they've been jerked around, they've been manipulated. These people have been used. Many of them. And that's where you get the term useful idiots, by the way. They've been used. And some of them, some of them even, they work up into not just, by the way, it probably happens on the right too. So don't get me started. I'm just saying, like, this whole Trump derangement syndrome, though. I mean, it's, you're seeing right here, this woman's got basically nothing. And it's worked her up into, giving more or nothing away.
Are you kidding? I got a couple guys coming back to mow the lawn, and I just went through my pocket to see if I had enough money for them.
Do you?
I think so.
You need a couple? You need a couple bucks to give to the guys to mow your lawn?
Yeah.
I got it. Elizabeth, where's your car? This one? Maybe I'll call some of these politicians and get your money back.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Power to the people.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Charlie does it again. I love that guy. Absolutely love that guy. I mean, again, think about this. She was bamboozled, flim flam, Jason says. Yeah. But I don't mean to laugh I'm just laughing about the words used. What happened to her and what's happened to so many others, and let's be completely clear here. It ought to be criminal. It ought to be criminal. Now, people have a right to spend their money how they see fit. Look, I'm not judging that. But this is the bigger issue, the bigger problem, the bigger there's so much of it, and it's happening right in front of your faces. It's not identity theft necessarily, but they take your name as an account, and let's say they get a big pile of money coming in. They use this to launder. They get a big pile of money from a mega donor, and then they disperse it out in small increments. It's laundering. It's money laundering is what it is. Political money laundering. Campaign finance money laundering. This whole thing, I can't believe we don't have hearing after hearing on it. I would imagine the reason we don't is probably the same thing happens on the right. I don't know that. I would assume that's probably the case. That story, by the way, is picking up. It's getting national attention, and thank goodness. Getting national attention because of it. But it deserves it. Let me just say that. It certainly deserves it. All right. I want to get a couple of more stories. In fact, we got some hearings that we got audio from to get to on the way this morning. Yesterday, Brandon Gill. who I am increasingly impressed by every time I see him. Something new, particularly in these hearings, and the way he handles himself, and the people that he's hearing from. Let's put it that way. It's fantastic. There's another one, and I think it's Nancy Mace grilling this woman who runs the Smithsonian. It's just another fantastic piece of work. Plus, I think I mentioned this yesterday, and I completely, I don't know how it happens. You get through the end of the show, and then you're thinking, okay, I think that's it, or we run out of time, and then something falls through the cracks. Well, this one yesterday I meant to get to, and I just completely, it fell through the cracks. But I promise today we'll get it. We have an update from that man that was kicked up in the air with the bison attack. We have an update, and it's some of it's kind of good news. So we'll get to that more after this. The latest from the Midwestern, the Midwesterner.news, checking headlines from around the state and beyond.
Here are your headlines from the Midwesterner this Thursday, July 23rd. I'm Robin Hoffman. It's a Midwesterner.news original story.
Are you Elizabeth Waffle?
Yeah.
It says here that you've donated $150,000 in the last 5 years to various campaigns.
An Abdul El Sayed donor, apparently not aware she is one. We have the video of the woman living in a trailer who reportedly gave $150,000 to Democrats over 5 years via Act Blue, that left-wing organization currently under federal investigation.
And that you've made nearly 15,000 donations.
I doubt it.
You want to see it?
15,000, yeah.
15,000 separate donations on the computer.
In other news, it's all part of Governor Whitmer's legacy. Michigan public schools ranking 37th for quality. The Democrat governor's spend more, learn less dynamic continues despite declining student enrollment and increasing school employment. For these stories and more, visit The Midwesterner at themidwesterner.news.
Flim Flam Man. I missed that one with George C. Scott. I must have missed that one, Mr. Bill. But I don't know. Bamboozled, Shenanigans, those are high on my list. Flim Flam, I'm going to give that, and Jason will give that one another run for its money. I really like that one. Flim Flam, Bamboozled, Shenanigans. Either way, that's probably the best way to put it. Charlie the Duff with fantastic reporting. Speaking of more shenanigans and the like, our good friend James Dixon. We're going to test the line here. James, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Fantastic. You look good. You sound good. We actually just shared that piece that Charlie did with that woman and the Act Blue money. That is, it's just wild. I wish I could say, watch that and go, wow, I'm surprised. But there's piles of these people out there, and it's story after story just like this.
Yeah, I hope that scandal were to break and become something, because what you are always looking for is false notes with a guy like Abdul El Sayed. And you look at his actual career background, he has a ton of them. Never stayed at a job for 3 years, all these high profile jobs, he always leaves them. During the COVID pandemic, this guy was on the sidelines. Like, he's not what he claims to be. Mm-hmm. But what worries me about him is that his fundraising might be fake and made up, but his grassroots support, his ground level people power is real. I mean, when you look at him able to fill up arenas in Detroit and in Grand Rapids in the same weekend, I worry about Sayed.
I do too. I've been talking about him for a while now, and I don't think people. So I met him back in 2018 when he ran the first time around for governor, and he's formidable. I don't think people realize he's been groomed for a long time to run. It was governor then, senator now. The office doesn't matter. The power is the point.
Bingo.
And this is something that's been in the works. And you and I had a great conversation. James and I were talking last night, and what we're watching play out, I think people probably don't get a full grasp on, but this is a red-green alliance that's happening right now. Glenn talked about it yesterday. I saw him do a master class in what is what's new is very old, and we've been here before. So let's talk about that, because this whole thing, the Marxism, the communism, and even the Red Green Alliance is a shiny new object that has ancient roots, actually.
Oh yeah, this thing is nothing new. I mean, and so basically, this is the Red Green Alliance is communists and Islamists teaming up together, all in the belief that the Muslims think they're going to get the communists in the end and steal the power, and the communists think they're going to get the Muslims in the end and steal the power. Which is why you can have something like girl bosses like Jocelyn Benson and Abdul El Sayed possibly on the same ticket. And so at first glance, you might think of their perspectives and needs and wants as different, but what they all want is power, and they're absolutely willing to tolerate each other to get it. Then you add in the shared nemesis they have in Orange Man Bad, and then you're right at the heart of liberalism, which is the idea that the ends justify the means, and that's what makes this so scary.
And they do. They don't care. They don't care what they do. And we're going to see. We'll talk about this too. I mean, these folks who are involved in this useful idiot kind of play, they end up being the ones who go first. I want to show you a video. I haven't showed this yet. I had this the other day, and we get stacks of stuff and forget. Okay, did I get to that one? Did I get to this one? I'm sure you've seen it, but this is a video that's been all over the internet in recent days, and it is. Woo, hang. I hate to laugh at this because it's so. This person is so deranged. He's got issues, right? But it is such a tough one. You've seen it. I know you've seen it. But this is an individual who's losing it, coming contact with police here. The blue hair, that obviously dressed funny, but this person is mad the police officer is misgendering them.
Stop misgendering me!
What's the problem?
Why do you let those kids get away with this? They are not supposed to be here!
If you don't lower your voice, I am going to put handcuffs on you and I'm going to take you to a Baker Act facility. You lower your voice.
Try it.
Are you threatening me? Minute to deal with Jay Lee here. He is having a breakdown.
Say! Just say the right pronoun!
What'd you say?
7351.
Got the pepper spray out. Well, this guy's not having it. He's like, "What'd you say?"
Get down on the ground right now.
No!
You're about to get sprayed.
You can tell this individual, this police officer, has had enough of this stuff.
Get down on the ground right now.
Leave me alone!
Florida's the last place where I'd pull something like this too.
I know, and
They
then
don't play in Florida.
this is that you're seeing that. This is the find out portion.
In
of the
Michigan, you might end up as an appointee of Governor Whitmer pulling this stuff, but in Florida, you're going to jail.
These folks don't realize this, but these useful idiots, and a lot of them, like this person, has real problems. Let's be honest.
Like, they're not well.
No, this is somebody who's not well. I mean, I hate to laugh at this. I have to laugh at everything because if I don't, boy, I'll tell you what, we're gonna be crying nonstop. But this is a useful idiot. They're the first to go once these Marxists, the communists, take over. This Red Green Alliance, it only leads one place, and it's death. And it's a really bad thing. But we got generations now of kids that never learned about any of this in schools. You said something interesting. They only learned about one.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much any kid in American schools who's graduated 12th grade could tell you about the Holocaust and how bad it is. And obviously that's true. But the body count for fascism or for communism is much higher. When you look at Russia, when you look at what they did to Ukraine, when you look at what they did to other Russians, you look at Mao in China, everywhere communism goes, people die by the tens and hundreds of millions. It is a destructive force because it is meant to destroy. We're told that the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That's communism. That's communism personified right there. And so, like, I think the big battle we're setting up for is Jesus versus Karl Marx. And what you see right there is a Marxist soldier. And what's tragic to me, Justin, is that that young man might not even know that he's been employed in a game, in a scheme much bigger than he can imagine, that what he's doing is useful for others, but it also kills off his own character, his own future, his own connection to the name and the sex he was born. You know, the idea of Imago Dei is that we are all one of 8 billion children of God. The idea that you're born in the wrong body is not a fruit of the spirit. And he's been convinced otherwise. And what I also see there in that video is victimhood at play. You think that if I just say I'm misgendered, then you know, I get away with anything. It's not how the world works.
James, you broke up a little bit during that last part, but I think you should be good now. We had just a little bit of a glitch there, just kind of like this glitch, by the way, in New Jersey. That we now know isn't a glitch. The software company says, according to the latest on this, it's not a glitch. The governor says, "Oh no, this whole thing is a glitch. Please." At the end of the day, you know, the 6,600 people that are here, non-citizens, on these voter rolls, they're they're not that's supposed to be on there, but that's a software issue. That was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, software company comes out and says, no, that's no glitch. In fact, that's a people problem.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is. I mean, so two things concern me about this New Jersey thing. Is one, 6,600 is a lot of people.
If you apply that,
no, I can. You froze. I see you frozen right now, but I can still hear you. Now I see you moving around. Are we good? Can you hear me now? I think we froze up. All right, I'm going to leave and come back.
We got double connections, so I'm changing my connections real quick. Can you hear me now? Oh man, sorry for the discombobulation here, folks. I'm just gonna refresh real quick and see if that changes some. Okay, hopefully that fixed the problem. We haven't had this issue yet before, but look, everything's new. I just Isn't
that what all guys say, Justin? Oh, this has never happened before.
Never happened before. We've got connection dysfunction here, but I got
conductile dysfunction. Is that what you just said?
I got dueling Wi-Fi connections, so we can always switch and keep the show on the road there. All right, so I'll let you again. I'm gonna let you run this back for us just one last time, just to make sure that people got it about what you said, because what I heard was important.
Yeah, so in New Jersey, you had 6,600 non-citizens registered to vote, and that's just over a 2-year period. That's in 23 and 24. So that begs the question, how many in the years before that? How many in the years since that? I mean, we've had almost, 1.5 years since the end of 24. And so of those 6,600, what's even worse is that 400 of them voted. So at this point, best case scenario is that they voted in the presidential race and that they only disenfranchised 400 of their neighbors in a highly subscribed election. Yeah. Worst case scenario is that they voted in local elections where those 400 votes, it could take 10 in a community. It could take 1 in a community. Those 400 votes could have swayed actual results, and all done by people who never should have been in America or never should have been on the voter rolls in the first place. And so in Michigan, we had an illegal voter in 2024, a man named Ho Ching Gao, October 24. That triggers Jocelyn Benson to do a partial review. She finds 15 other illegal voters in that partial review. The real number is probably much higher. And so, and then every time this happens, the media tells us that there's no widespread proof, that kind of thing. So what? To me, 16, one was too many. 16 is way too many. 400 is off the charts. At what point is it okay? Is it legal to be concerned about election integrity?
You know, the thing, I said this yesterday, but the thing that they say never happens is
It's
happening again. Yeah, and it is, it's clear. The documents the president has brought out. Monday, we had Patty McMurray from the Gateway Pundit on to talk about this issue. What a crazy story. So the GBI strategy story, this story out of Muskegon, where again, nothing to see here. It wasn't just Muskegon. It was all throughout the state. In fact, they know that this GBI strategies company was working throughout the country. Now, James, you remember this story was really weird. There's like an arsenal of guns, weapons found.
Yeah.
During this whole thing, there was like something written on a whiteboard somewhere about being ready for action or something like that. I mean, Patty ran through this on Monday. Go back and watch it if you missed it and actually follow her reporting on it. But, you know, they were one of the first. In fact, there were folks out of West Michigan, people who listened to the program, that were active in FOIA requests on this report. The clerk in Muskegon County just so happened to report this to police, and then police involved. From what we understand, they were active in helping the people FOIA and find exactly what the report number was and the records on it all. So it's each individual kind of doing their part. Now, here's what we find that I think is kind of interesting as well. We now know, and she put this, I think, out yesterday or the day before, but there's more documentation. I think the president and their team needs to see this, of a Facebook group or a page where these clerks from around the state were having conversations with each other about this very thing. We just got to drop off in a stack of delivery of all these ballots. And then some would say, like, I think the one in Niles said, yeah, there's a bunch of, and they're all from Auburn Hills, from this EM. Well, that's Empower Michigan, the company that was working with GBI Strategies. So they have now the records of the evidence of these clerks who knew this was happening. They're all talking about it and asking, what should we do about this? My question is, why didn't they call the police? Why didn't they call the authorities? We know that one of them did. We'd like to see more of that happen. We'd like to see people maybe stand up and say something ain't right here, something's rotten in Denmark. But maybe they did report it to folks like the Secretary of State. We know if all these clerks are talking about it, she had to know about it. And that same Secretary of State is now overseeing her own race for governor and refuses to give up any of these documents or let the feds come in and make sure the voter rolls are clean.
You know, two things. I mean, one, it's good that some of these clerks were, like in Muskegon, they did the right thing, right? You go to authorities. I mean, we're told from the time we're kids, if you see something, say something, find a responsible adult. And I think the lack of widespread reporting of this tells me that these clerks are demoralized. You know, do you call the cops if you don't think the cops will ever come? Do you call the cops if you think that investigation is going to hit a dead end named Jocelyn Benson or Attorney General Dana Nessel or the U.S. Department of Justice under Joe Biden at the time? And so this is what happens in third world countries. You get so demoralized, you don't even call the cops because you don't think the cops are on your side. You don't think you'll be taken seriously. What worries me about Jocelyn Benson, like you said, she's overseeing her own election right now. And what she's done is she's eliminated so many of our safeguards for election integrity. I mean, imagine this, Justin. So you find out that a Chinese, and that's the last country we want to hear, right? A Chinese voter votes in Ann Arbor and his vote counts. You find out that there's 15 more at least. Anthony Forlini in Macomb County finds that there's all kinds of non-citizens who are signing up for jury duty and actually serving on juries. And not one thing has been done to lock the door for the next one. Benson never said, hey, this is what we need to change in the law. We need a constitutional
That's a great
amendment.
point.
Not one thing has been not only not done, nothing's even been suggested or attempted. And the one thing that would
Mm.
keep non-citizens off the voter rolls, the Save America Act, Benson opposes that because she says women and black people are too stupid to figure out how to get IDs and prove citizenship.
Incredible. And somehow she believes she's still qualified to run for governor. I absolutely think that she's disqualified from this whole thing. But I wonder what the DOJ. They're coming in. They're going to monitor some of these primary races. I wonder if we'll see any more. And then there's a story. In fact, I shared this morning, and it was kind of quiet. But I think the court ruled. It may have been last week that they could. I don't know how long this will stand, but that the Trump administration could do what they wanted to do, which was require the D.C. Circuit Court temporarily allowed the U.S. Postal Service to move forward with its proposed election mail rule, requiring states to submit voter lists and serialized ballot barcodes before the Postal Service will mail federal ballots, staying a district judge's order. So that's from SCOTUS Wire. So that was a win. Yeah, it's not nothing. Who knows how that stands up? But that's the latest. So you've got the federal government, you got the DOJ coming in, maybe going to oversee some of this. And I know there's a lot of people out there. I've said I think she's disqualified from running for anything, but a lot of people out there would suggest maybe she's qualified for only an orange jumpsuit and a pair of shiny new bracelets.
And I think ultimately, we've seen strongly worded letters, we've seen lawsuits. Until men and windbreakers show up and grab the voter rolls, get the hard drives, get the data that Jocelyn Benson has given out to groups like Eric, to groups like Rock the Vote, who everyone's heard of, until something like that happens that just shakes people up, it has to be something that's going to shake normies up. Another failed lawsuit isn't going to do it, and there's not enough time. It has to be something that grabs headlines and grabs attention and comes off to the average person as, oh my God, something is rotten in Detroit. That's what has to happen. And so if the feds have anything, now would be a great time to use it, as opposed to on November 4th after Election Day.
You just mentioned showing up in the windbreakers, and I'm reminded about the raid that happened on Ryan Kelly's house. And then some of the other stories.
They're not shy about using that power when they have it.
Well, it's interesting. We saw just a couple of days ago this week, 2 more convictions thrown out in the 2020 Whitmer Fednapping plot that we now know and have for quite some time now that apparently the feds were heavily involved, and the FBI had, I think it was like 12 out of the 18 or something like that, folks that were involved in this plot, were part of this. We're working with the FBI. So again, I really happy to see this because it shines a light on, and I'll run this back again for folks to remember. The man in charge of the FBI at the time, who oversaw all of this in Detroit, got a cushy new promotion to go to D.C. right ahead of January 6th. So, I don't know if that's just too obvious for me, James. Well,
if that doesn't do it for you, this one should. The FBI on their own website has claimed, and it's probably true, their biggest investigation in history was not 9/11, was not JFK being killed or Reagan being shot. It was January 6th. The biggest. How could trespassing be the biggest? Like, that should embarrass any true law enforcement official, that a trespassing case is the biggest case your organization has ever done. It certainly wasn't the most important they've ever done, but it got the most manpower because it was meant to create a narrative that the Republican Party is unsafe at any speed, that Republican equals insurrection, and to bury the GOP then and forevermore. and it worked in the 22 election. And then they lost in 24 to a guy they've been calling Hitler. And so now everyone's looking for that next move, but all their previous moves are starting to unravel. There was no Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping. There was no kidnapping plot. There was no kidnapping attempt. It simply never happened. But if you're the Democrat Media Alliance, whether you're the elected officials who pretended that we have political violence from the right attacking the left, or you're the media who pretended the same thing, what are you going to do? Just say you were wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, Whitmer had a fake kidnapping. Donald Trump really got shot in the head, but you never hear about that.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, that's sort of just gone away. And there were several of these. This isn't the only one. There was, I think Slotkin had like a bomb and a bomb threat or something along those lines, and then Gilchrist had one too. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, and Jocelyn Benson in 2020, in her memoir, she talks about this. Oh, armed men showed up outside my house in December 2020. National Review reported on that at the time. Police said that no guns were seen. So unless Jocelyn Benson has X-ray vision, there were no reported guns on site, and yet it's a central part of her narrative. So the left has benefited time and again from fake political violence, while the right has suffered from actual political violence.
Yeah, and it's the left 9 times out of 10 when it comes to that actually perpetrating it, because again, the evil idea that the ends justify the means. That's how it works. James, always a pleasure. I know you got the podcast. I know you're working with folks at The Enjoyer, but one of the places I like to catch him the most is down I-75 over on X. What are you working on lately? I know you got a video coming out.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about why Jocelyn Benson won't hand over those voter rolls. Alyssa Slotkin said the quiet part out loud, talking about how if the SAVE Act were passed, it'd be really tough for Democrats to win anything. So we're going to go connect those dots, because when the average person hears this information, they're going to be shaken out of their slumber.
Yeah, I love it. You got to hear it. And again, follow James for more of this and more over down I-75 over on X. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you for taking the time and the patience through the little bit of the glitch that we had today.
Appreciate you, brother. Talk to you soon.
You got it. God bless. There you have it, folks. More from James Dixon. Yeah, we'll have. I just called him out of the blue last night. I said, man, it's been a while. We got to have you back on. And I know you love hearing from him. James, a good guy and doing the Lord's work. We appreciate him taking the time to be here and shake it all out for us. More of it, by the way, because we got plenty left. I got a couple of those hearing pieces we got to get to, and then some videos. We had the bison update. We had to definitely make sure we do the bison update. The man that got rocked by the bison. But then I have another piece of wildlife fun we'll get to coming up in just a moment.
Here are your headlines from the Midwesterner this Thursday, July 23rd. I'm Robin Hoffman. It's a Midwesterner.news original story.
Did you make 15,000 donations in 5 years? $150,000?
150? Hell no. I don't have that kind of money.
We have the video of an elderly Abdul El Sayed donor, apparently not aware she is one. This senior living in a trailer in a heavily wooded area. She reportedly gave $150,000 to Democrats over 5 years via the organization Act Blue, that group currently under federal investigation.
Do you have internet?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
Do you have a computer?
No.
No? So how could you make all these donations?
I don't know. Are these all mine?
Governor Whitmer's legacy looking worse and worse. Michigan Public Schools ranking now 37th for quality. The Democrat governor's spend more, learn less dynamic clearly continues. For these stories and more, visit The Midwesterner at themidwesterner.news.
All right, let's get into some of the weird hearing stuff from the last couple of days. There's a Smithsonian piece I want to make sure we play. That's Nancy Mace and
We
the
strive
director
to represent all Americans.
You strive to.
Oh, this is so good. It's so good. Oh, This is Nancy Mace talking to the director of the Smithsonian, and she just lays her out. Now, this Smithsonian playing all kinds of games here. You know how this works. They call these people, they have got canned answers. They've got these weird political answers they give. And none of it's real. None of it's all fake. It's all phony baloney. But she does a good job. And Brandon Gill, we got him from earlier too. Speaking of which, I also have some more good news. The 29th, which I believe is next. Is that next? Let's see. Today's the 23rd, so it's next Wednesday, which would be great because we got Maha Missy coming on the 29th. Fauci under oath with Rand Paul.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Hartig, how many children visited the National Museum of American History last year?
Hi, good morning, ma'am.
Answer the question, how many kids?
Good morning, ma'am. Since we don't charge,
Are you the director of the museum?
I am, ma'am.
Okay, and you don't know how many people visited the museum last year?
2 million.
How many of those were children?
Ma'am, I don't have
even
those
know.
exact figures
Okay.
for you, but I'm happy to
Do you
take
agree that
back.
educating children about American history is a core duty of the museum? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
And are images of sexual fetishes appropriate for children? Yes or no?
So, ma'am,
It's a simple yes or no. Or
understand.
is sexual imagery, provocative sexual imagery, appropriate for kids? Yes or no?
Ma'am, we strive to represent all Americans.
You strive to represent
fullness of
queer,
American
pedophiles, indoctrination, grooming of kids at an American History Museum. And it sounds like you're proud of it. You won't answer the questions, probably.
By the way, I don't know if you can see this. If you're watching behind the scenes, I'll try and make it a little bit bigger. But those pictures behind the scenes behind her they're something. They're something. She's going to address some of it
Because
here
you're
in a
ashamed.
second. These are pictures of the displays, the things that are in
And
the
as a
Smithsonian.
woman, I really can't believe you will sit here today, and you can't even admit that sexual imagery, like this behind me, my staff tells me, this little trinket around the penis, this is BDSM, in a setting where children are walking through. That's disgusting. Like, what kind of message are you trying to send to kids with BDSM imagery? What are you trying to tell kids? Are you sexualizing children? Is that what your motive is for the museum? Why?
So that specific two-piece.
Do you know how many
item-
kids get raped by adults every year in this country? This kind of thing, when you are dressing men up as women,
I got to pause it for a second because here's the thing. You remember how this all started, and Americans went along with it in some ways because we are very tolerant people. We said, look, what you do in your own bedrooms, it's up to you. We don't want any part of it, but you go ahead and have at it. Now, we've gone from that idea, which is a to each his own sort of thing, to this idea that we have to celebrate, and everybody needs to be not only proud of it, but you need to broadcast all of your proclivities and all of the things that you're into and all of the fetishes and all of that stuff. Nobody wants to know that. I not only do I not care, I don't want to know. I don't even want to think about it. But it's worse. As Mace is pointing out here, it's not just that you need to be aware and everyone and I celebrate all this weird stuff that I'm in. Look at this guy over here with his head. It's just great. It's not just that you have to be into it, but they want your kids groomed. They want your kids. They want this pushed on your kids to sexualize them. That's the point she's making. This is a problem.
You're putting this kind of crap in front of kids, sexualizes them, and makes them more vulnerable to people that want to rape them or abuse them. Or when we have men and women settings that want to do harm to women. You talked about the girlhood exhibit, and you didn't want to answer the chairman's questions earlier, but it was a diary featuring a six-year-old that reads, everybody was talking about getting boobs in their period. I pray to God every night for my penis to grow. Dr. Hartig, can you tell me, look me in the eye and tell me that that belongs in an exhibit for kids?
Ma'am, Girlhood, It's Complicated was not an exhibit designed for children. and
I know, you had the
diary-
little disclaimer thing, which is sort
Right,
of
the
a...
diary was of a 13-year-old going through puberty.
Okay, do you think that's an appropriate thing to put in an American History Museum where there are children walking through? We're talking about American history.
Right, so Girlhood, It's Complicated, it's...
Okay, I'm moving on because you
Lord.
just, I don't know how much money you spent on getting prepped for this hearing. They did a good job because you're filibustering and not answering a single question from a single Republican. Today, do you
She's right.
believe that
She's
men
right.
can become women?
Ma'am, as the director of the museum, that's not relevant in this case.
Look at the colors of this pamphlet or brochure that she has here. That reminds me of a certain flag that they push.
It's very relevant. You've got men dressed up as women, and you have them on displays in front of kids. Do you think men can become women, yes or no?
So RuPaul's Drag Race, which is the upper...
It's a man. RuPaul is a man who dresses like a woman, literally.
Correct.
What is a woman, Dr. Hartig?
As a director and as a historian, it's not my opportunity.
You sexualize the American History Museum. So this is a fair question. What is a woman?
So at the museum...
What is a woman?
We strive to represent and not categorize all Americans.
Okay, I have another question for you. There's a glossary at the museum that informs visitors
like this tagline. She just keeps reading this prepared speech over
that
and over and
while
over
American culture traditionally recognizes 2 genders, other countries recognize 3 or more. So enlighten me this morning. How many genders are there?
Ma'am, which glossary?
This is a display, and that has a glossary that says other countries recognize 3 or more genders. So I would like you to enlighten me today. You're the director of the American History Museum who's sexualized things in front of kids. I want to ask you, how many genders are there?
So first of all, I'm happy to get
How
back
many?
to you about the glossary.
How many genders are there?
Sure.
And what are they?
I'm not sure which glossary you're speaking of.
Of course, I know that you don't. You knew exactly what this hearing was about today. One of your exhibits at the American History Museum says sometimes gender isn't revealed at birth. So when is gender revealed?
So
When was your gender revealed to you, Dr. Hartig?
I don't really think that's relevant to the
It is relevant. You have a display at the American History Museum talking about...
You know it's not relevant, any of this stuff anymore. I mean, these people need to go. She's not relevant. It's time to kick her to the curb. Sexualized museum exhibits for the kids to walk by and see. Oh, it's just beautiful. We just love it. We just can't get enough of it in the swamp, apparently. Just can't get enough of it. Nancy Mace bringing the heat yesterday. Brandon Gill is another one who, again, I see more and more of him, and I really like. This is the hearing with the American Bar Association director, and he talks about implicit biases, implicit bias, and well, he nails her. And again, it's more of the whole, let me give my prepared
According
statement
to
on
the
it.
ABA's website, quote, all of us have implicit biases. Would you agree with that statement?
The ABA believes that diversity, equity, and inclusion improves the
Would you agree with the statement that, quote, all of us have implicit biases from the ABA's website?
The ABA believes that diversity in all of
Is
its
that a
realms
yes?
is
Can I take
important.
that? It's a yes or no question. Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases, as your website says?
The ABA looks to remove barriers, and we examine.
That's not my question, ma'am. Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases?
I've expressed what the
You do.
ABA is doing.
That
with
is
its
the
diversity work.
ABA's position, as expressed by their website. Against which groups do you have implicit biases?
The ABA believes that it's important to always explore.
Are you going to filibuster? Because it doesn't make you sound very good. I'm going to ask you again, against which groups do you have implicit biases?
It's important to always examine everyone's point of view and where they may need to
It
consider.
is.
How,
What about your point of view?
I am here as the president of the American Bar Association.
And I'm asking you what your implicit biases are.
The ABA is an entity.
Have you reflected on your implicit biases?
I think about how I
What are
operate
they?
the world constantly.
Would you like to explain to us what they are?
I am here speaking on behalf of the ABA and the ABA.
Right.
Yes, I just love it.
According to the ABA's website,
So good. It's so good. Can you tell us what yours are? Nailed it. Nailed it. I think there's more. I think there's more with him. There's another piece here. Hang on. Is it discriminatory against every other racial group when Joe Biden appointed, this is good, Justice Jackson to the Supreme Court solely because of her race or gender and gender? Listen to this.
Brown Jackson Supreme Court nomination.
I have no idea how that process works. I'm a real estate lawyer.
President Biden stated, quote, "I've made no decision except one, and that's that person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court." So I think it's fair to say that race was and gender were factors in that nomination process. Wouldn't you agree?
You would have to have a conversation.
He explicitly stated that, so I think it's fair to say. I mean, you're a lawyer. I think that's fair to say. Do you think that it's just or righteous that Joe Biden explicitly excluded black men in the nomination process for the Supreme Court vacancy?
The ABA does not support discrimination of any sort.
So you don't think that it was proper for Joe Biden to exclude every group other than black women in deciding who should fill that Supreme Court vacancy? Is that your testimony?
The ABA relishes diversity, equity, and
Right, but
inclusion.
is it acceptable for Joe Biden to exclude black men in the nomination pool for the Supreme Court?
The ABA never supports discrimination.
That's good to hear.
Brandon Gill, Congressman Brandon Gill, walking through the latest and greatest. And by the way, folks, like I said, I'm liking that. I don't, more I see from him, the more I like. The more I see, the more I like from him. I don't know the full story, but I got to tell you, I enjoy it. I like these clips. And again, I know some of you are going to say, yeah, but there's lots of talk in these hearings and nothing ever gets done. And I get that too. But every now and then I just want to see the fact that, we're not being gaslit by the media and everybody else into believing like, hey, there's nothing. We're all just as crazy. No, we're not all crazy. Not everybody. It's just a small number of people are crazy. Like she earlier. Even crazy grandpa that got bumped up into the air by the bison seems pretty reasonable. Feel bad for the guy. We've got a little bit of an update on his progress.
Even though I was on the ground, he could have stomped me, he could have gored me, could have done anything. They move faster than you could ever imagine. He just kept coming and he was more aggressive. And as soon as he got off that tree, he launched me in the air.
This guy goes flying in the air. He saw him at least 8 feet up in the air. That was incredible. So I think he even says in this clip, if I'm not mistaken, that he wasn't hurt from the bison itself. I mean, the contact, but he was hurt from flying up in the air and then falling down to the ground.
I didn't get bruises from him launching me in the air. It was the landing that came the problem.
It's actually broken in multiple pieces, and you can see some fragments here, and there are fracture and break lines right through that.
I always felt safe and secure. I wasn't ever terrified. And you have to remember, I'm 1,500 miles from home in an area where I'm busted up and can't get up and leave. I could not give them more glowing reviews. They were amazing.
Talking about the response staff and apparently the folks at the hospital as well. So the Bison Grandpa is doing well. He's on the mend in the hospital, and thank goodness. I am glad to hear that and see that. We continue to pray for that guy because he is, You question about whether he should have gotten out of his car and all of that, but it sounds like there were some other things happening behind the scenes that
I know. I'm
that
on
led to
highway.
worse than it was. This is, speaking of wildlife, this is another one of those weird wildlife moments. This is a bison stuck no, excuse me, a bear. The bison can't climb it, but a bear climbed a utility pole.
Are you calling about a bear? Yes.
Yeah. We're about that fried bear, folks.
Yes, it's on the power pole. Yeah, it's alive.
Oh boy.
Yes, just leave it.
Okay. Leave it be. Ma'am, what do you think I would do to... Of course, that's probably not a good answer. Probably some folks would do some crazy things. But leave it be. Who would go mess with this?
They said there's nothing that they could do. They could go and shoot it, like tranquilize it to get it down, but it's gonna end up, if they do that, then it's gonna fall and could hurt itself. So they told me that. I know. I'm on highway.
All right. I have an update on the bear, too, and it's not a good one. From what I understand, this bear did not survive. Now, I don't know if we have, like any video of that, but I think the bear did end up did not end up making it. It's fried bear now. Jason said, dude did save that kid. Old man is a hero, that's for sure. The bear not surviving is kind of sad. I don't know what drove him up there. Maybe he thought it was a tree. I've never seen anything like this before. I would think that you'd see more of it if it were more common, but the whole leave it be comment is the one that got me, is like, what do you think that I would be able to do? Bear jerky, Terry says. Yeah, I unfortunately that bear is this bear is no longer. And I'll do a quick little search, find out, search or ask a question. Did this bear survive? Hang on. Let's see if this is new on the bear's final moments. Oh no.
I'm on highway 56. Are you calling about a bear? Yes.
Yeah.
Out. The bear was electrocuted and died. It's one of the saddest and most unbelievable wildlife stories I've seen this year.
So it's just somebody talking about it. Okay. Some weirdo talking about a bear on the internet. That's what we're doing. But I don't see anything other than, is this going to be the same video? Yeah, this is the same video.
The wild, unharmed.
Yeah, it's just another one. I think that's got some AI on it. I did think I saw that bear did not survive. Unfortunately, no longer with us. It's been a wild week for updates, and some of these videos as well. Speaking of updates, I do have one that I'm going to share with the folks in the VIP coming up in just a little bit. If you haven't joined the VIP over on Locals, I highly suggest you do it. It's $9 a month, justinbarkley.com/VIP. When you do sign up, you can get an option to sign up for a whole year. If you do that, you get a copy of my book, Good News, Hope, and Encouragement for Trying Times. I'll sign it and send it to you. Plus, I will also get a month free. So that's another very cool thing. You're going to get all kinds of perks and discounts in the store, which is kind of nice. But you'll get the exclusive Locals First VIP stuff that we do, and Locals only. So I actually have a lot more of that coming. Fireside chats, things like that. In fact, we have a fireside chat coming next week. I'll have details about that for the folks that want to know coming up. So appreciate those folks hanging in the VIP today. We got Panda Mando, we got Gritter, we got Cook Garden Sew. I don't want to miss anybody, guys. I say Dina, well, I'll say it again. Over on Rumble, I see Such a Time as This. TK, good to see you. D1P, Beasley, always a pleasure, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with the Rumblers. Such a Time as This. Thank you, guys. On the book and the tube and the X as well. Joanne on the book. Bruce, good to see you. Bonnie, Sherry, thank you so much as always. Tammy, Diane, and many others. You guys rock. Thank you. Thank you as always. You make this whole thing possible. Fireside chats, things. All right, let's see. Let's say congratulations to Heartland voters. Heartland voters sharing the broadcast today. Thank you so much, Heartland. I don't know who that is, but shoot me a message. I'll make sure you're taken care of. Get you something cool from inside the Justin store. JustinBarclay.com/store. Click on the links and you'll be able to get all the cool gear. We got hoodies and t-shirts, mugs and tumblers and more. All the America 250 gear. The new Jesus Saves the USA tee, which is big too. Love you all as always. Talk to you soon. Back tomorrow, the VIPs. Stand by, locals, folks. We're back with you after this. God bless.
Let's say China. 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 You go